Hey, everybody, it's the coach.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week. 16 carries, 56 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Now let's go. Blue, land it.
They'll look to throw here. Open here, Adam Thielen. That goes for a gain of 31.
And let's face it, what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
It's got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
That is caught at the 7. A good pickup there, a 22.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can catch.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jerick McKinnon, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. Bryant will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. He'll get this up only to about the 33. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get...
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set! Blue landed! Blue landed!
McKinnon. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now back to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Set! 3-19!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. First grab so far for Diggs. It's a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the
Here we
sticks.
go now! 3-19!
They'll look to throw now on first down. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And room there to work it inside the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back, away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll drop to throw. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Giovanni Bernard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Here's Coleman on the toss. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
12. Hey, we got 4. 21. Ready.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. There he goes right side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's Ryan. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Eric Kendricks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. On 3rd down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They go play action here on 1st down. Going deep for Diggs. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. To throw.